Hi, Lori here with Hardworking Mom. Today we're going to be doing our Welcome Gnome kit. And we're going to be doing method 2. So what we're going to do is we have our 2 mesh, turquoise and pink. I have them pulled out on my mat using my mesh roller. And I'm going to use my rotary cutter and we're going to cut it. We're going to cut 30 inches. And we're going to cut 9 of these. We're going to be doing option number 1 with this kit, which is 30-inch ruffles. So I've cut 9 of each piece. These are our ribbons. Now my smaller roll is a little bit different, just because we had a few that were not right, some of the ribbons, so I kept the bad one. And I'm just replacing it. So we're going to roll these out together. Okay. Just to save time. Okay. So we need 9 of each. I'm going to trim it where we rolled it over the board. And then I will fold it in half and cut towards the edge to get a dovetail. Okay. So once we've gotten this done, we can come to our wreath. And we're just going to open up the ties on the bottom. We're going to leave the top alone. Okay. And then we will separate our mesh and we will do our ruffle. I'll just tuck a little edge under and just go straight up the middle. Just like that. And then we'll place it down. Just tie it enough to stay there. Okay. Then we're going to spread the sides out against each other. This just really helps to make it nice and full. There we go. And then we're going to take our ribbons, and I think I'm going to swap these two. We're going to fold them in half, pinch in the center, and then we're going to run our hands under it and kind of just pull it forward a little bit. And then we can tie it down. So I'll go ahead and trim this off, tuck it under, pull my ribbons out a little, same thing on the other side. Okay. Let's do one more. And I'll show you another way you can do the ribbons at the bottom. Okay, so straight up the center. Okay, place it down. So where I gathered it in the center is where we place it down and tie it. And there we go. Now for the ribbons. This 2.5 inch ribbon has a really nice pattern on it. So we can, on the bottom, put the smaller ribbon on the bottom, the larger ribbon on the top, and then we'll be able to see that really pretty pattern. Okay. So tie it on, pull it out. So now you can see that really pretty pattern instead of seeing the smaller ribbon. Okay. You really could also get away with just putting the one patterned ribbon on top. Okay. And I will work on doing the rest of the bottom. Then I'll come back and we'll do the top. Okay, so we finished the bottom. So now we're gonna open up the ties on the top. And we'll start on the top. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing on the top. We'll just spread the ribbons out a little bit more on the top than we did on the bottom. But we're going to do the same ruffles. So this is essentially gathering the mesh. I'm using my thumbs to create almost a dam, and then my fingers to pull the mesh back. Okay, just like that. So it kind of makes like a bow tie. All right. When you place it down, you just kind of want to pull it up just to make sure it's not going to squash the bottom. Also makes it nice and full. And just like we did on the bottom, we will ruffle them next to each other. So when we put our ribbons on the top, we're going to spread them out instead of kind of keeping them together. So we'll spread them out kind of like an X. And I'm going to kind of pull my ribbon and kind of push it a little bit so I can get it to stand up, because there is wire in here. It's going to do a really good job of separating that ribbon and making it so that you can see all of the ribbon. Okay, just like that. All right, so we're just going to keep going around. So each time I'm ruffling the mesh, and on the last one you really need to do both sides. And I'm also pulling it up and making sure it is not going to squash the bottom. Okay. Then we'll put our ribbons in, and then I'll finish the top. Okay, so we've completed the wreath part. So now we're going to do the bow, and we're going to do the side. So one thing I'm going to do for my bow is I'm going to cut a little bit of mesh, about 15 inches. So we'll just come out to the 15 and cut 15. Okay. Pull our bow maker in. All right. And the reason we're doing this is because I don't want this to sink into the wreath. So I'm going to make 2 little ruffles. Okay. So there's one. I'm going to place it down in here. Then I'm going to do the second one. You could also just do it in your hand because no one is going to see it. It's just to help plump up the bow. Okay? All right, now we're going to start with the multicolor on the bottom. Okay, and we'll start with a smaller tail, like 8 inches. Okay. And we're going to do a 6-inch loop, 6-inch loop on the other side. We'll do 2 of these. Okay. No. Okay, so the reason we put these on the bottom is because we want to do make this bow look a little bit larger. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our multicolor, we're going to cut a dovetail, we're going to do like maybe a 10-inch tail, and we're going to do a spider bow. So we're going to go 6 inches, 6, and 6 again. Okay, and then we'll trim this one off a little. Tail's a little bit longer, but that's okay. We can fix that once we get it on the bow. Now, the trick with the spider is that you go in the opposite direction of where you had the last one. So our tails need to go over to this side here. Okay. So we'll go. So we'll have 1 loop on this side and 2 loops on this side. Okay. So I'm gonna pull this on this side and trim it off. Okay. So you can see I have 2 loops and 1 loop. 2 loops and 1 loop. Okay, then we'll do our patterned ribbon. We're going to go smaller. So, I don't want my tail to be quite as long. Okay, we're going to go to 5 inches. Yep, okay. Alright, 5 inch on the other side. 5. And I will tell you this. So I accidentally cut too much of this one and this one. So I can still do a bow. I'm just going to do the spider bow instead of the 2-loop bow on each side. It does happen. It happens to everyone. So you can see I have little pieces sitting everywhere over here because I accidentally cut them too long. Okay, so then we will come back to this side. All right, and we're going to do 5 inches again. 5, 5, and 5, right like that. And trim it off. Okay. Then we're going to take a zip tie. We're going to put it under everything, including that mesh we put on the bottom. We're going to get it tight enough so that nothing will come out, and then we pull from the bottom and pull it out. Then I'm going to grab a pipe cleaner, run it around the back, get that pipe cleaner in, and pull it as tight as I can get it. Now I'm going to hold all 3 of these in the back. I'm going to ignore the mesh, and I'm going to go to the first ribbon and start pulling and fluffing, starting from the bottom, working my way up. I'm also going to pull on the tails and get them going where I want them to. Right there. Okay. I'll start on the other side. Always going from the bottom to the top. Okay. All right. So you see how those tails almost create little legs? It's one of the things I really love about this bow. It kind of creates almost like little spider legs. You might also hear it as the Lisa bow. I just love calling it the spider bow because that's how I see it. Okay. Or the 3-loop bow. So this is done a lot. This is done a lot by florists. Okay. Now watch. We're going to bring this back, and when we put this down, do you see how nice and large this bow looks? It's because we put that mesh on the bottom. So I'm just going to use the opening where we tied the mesh on to get down to the bottom. Sometimes it's hard to find, so you'll just kind of see there's the opening. Just kind of, if I struggle with it, I'll pull back and kind of move them aside and then go down. All right. Tie it around. There we go. Okay. And then I can fluff it up. See how pretty this bow is? Especially with all these little tails coming out. It makes the bow, well, I'm going to trim these off. I want these to be shorter. There. That looks more like legs to me. So, let's fix these. Okay. There. There we go. Now we have this cute little bow. Look how cute that is. I love it. Okay. All right, now we can put our sign on. Okay. For the sign, we can make this a top bow and put the sign down at the bottom. I think that would be really cute. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm just going to get my metal hole punch here, and I'm going to put it on the sides. So one on this side, one on this side. Alright, and then pull my wire out. So I'm going to put my wire through that little hole. I cut my wire about 20 inches and it is 26 gauge wire. Then I like to twist it right where it meets the sign, just to keep that wire from moving. Again. Okay. So there's many ways you could do this. You could make this the side and do side to side. You can make the bow the bottom and do this the top. Or you can make this the top and this the bottom. I think I'm going to do this is the bottom. So I'm going to take this weaving needle. Okay, and I'm going to put it through my weaving needle just like it is. I'm going to thread a needle, okay, and I'm going to go right down through the mesh. This way I don't have to struggle trying to get my wire down to where I want it. Okay, I'm going to tie it around the wire frame. I usually use the top one. Okay. Same thing on the other side. This just makes it so much easier because it's not going to hurt. It is plastic. It's not going to hurt the mesh at all. And it just saves so much time and effort and frustration. Okay. I tie it 2 or 3 times and then I'll trim it off. Okay. So here from the bottom you can see here's the one side and here's the other side. So I'll just come in here, trim it off right here. There we go. And everything is on there secure. All right. There we go. So cute. Little winter gnome, welcome gnome. So cute, that little welcome gnome. See how pretty the sides are? It's nice and full. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this. And if you missed this kit, don't worry. Check our website because we always have at least one kit listed. And we always do the instructions and put them on YouTube and Facebook. Alright, so y'all have a wonderful night and I will see y'all later. Thank y'all for watching. Be sure to subscribe.